Hello ladies and gentlemen, we are discussing the birth chart series and this is the lesson 6. All of you who are following the birth chart series and have already seen lessons 1 to 5 know by now first of all how to make the birth chart, and you also know certain patterns which correspond to the presence or absence of numbers along these lines. Each line or pattern is connected to a strong quality of mind. We have already discussed these lines which are shown in the diagram, that is the two diagonals and the vertical line in the middle. To learn about all the relevant lessons of this series, you have to click on the links provided in the description box below. In this vlog today, we are going to talk about the two vertical columns in the left and the right hand side of the chart. What does it mean if you have numbers present in either of these columns? That is, all the squares in a particular column if they have numbers. And what does it mean if they do not have numbers? To begin with, let us consider the first left column. The three squares out here are the permanent houses for the numbers 1, 2 and 3. If all these three squares have numbers, it means obviously the digits 1, 2 and 3 are present in your birth chart. Like for example in this one, the number 1, as we all know, is the first number amongst the single digit numbers. 1 stands for the ego and the initiator. 2 stands for sensitivity and intuition, and 3 stands for memory, creativity and inspiration. When we have a birth chart which has this pattern, that is all the three squares in the vertical left column occupied, we have a person who is very good with planning and organizing. If with this pattern we have a heavy physical plane too, this person would be equally good in executing his plan as well. A person who loves to plan in his mind could also be spending too much time thinking. If the physical plane is not strong enough, or say if the pattern of determination is also not there, say all the three squares in the pattern of determination are empty, then the person may not know how to translate his mental energy into physical reality. Another thing which might happen is that there may be so much planning in the mind that when the person is presented with a counter plan, he might feel disappointed. Now let us come to the second pattern, which deals with the vertical column in the extreme right. These three squares are the permanent houses for the numbers 7, 8 and 9. 7 we all know is the philosopher in the physical realm. 8 is the number of wisdom and foresight, and 9 is the number of responsibility and compassion. If in a birth chart all these three squares are occupied, that is, if you have all the three numbers present, in that case it would be called the pattern of expression. Such a person would be very, very expressive. However, if this column becomes too heavy, say if we have repeats of the same numbers, then too much of expression may become hyperactivity, or say too much of nervous energy. Too much of something is never good. The idea is to create a balance. When your patterns show more mental energy, it becomes important for you to live in a peaceful and natural environment without any conflict. Especially this pattern, and also the pattern where the row in the middle has all squares occupied. These two patterns are indicative of a very, very impressionable mind. Now let us come to the reverse of the same pattern. Say if all the squares, all the concerned squares are vacant. Now the opposite of being very expressive or more expressive than others can in a way mean lack of expression for sure. It can also mean that the person would be so peaceful and so cooperative that he will let others be, he will let them express themselves and will be a supporter. The negative side could be that the person could be a bit too inert and lazy and reluctant towards the need to express his own ideas. Now, whatever pattern you find in your birth chart, it will be a permanent part of you. You cannot do anything about it. You're born with it. You cannot change your date of birth. But in case there is a disbalance, that is, if the numbers are concentrated in a few squares only, then you have the opportunity to balance it or rectify it through your name chart. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 6th lesson in the birth chart series, and we have about 2 more lessons to go in the same. But before that, I'd like to talk about the upcoming year and in my next log. If you've liked watching this log and have found it to be useful, please hit a like. To keep in touch, subscribe to the channel or like my FB page, the link to which is provided in the description box below. To spread a word about numerology, share my videos and encourage me to make further. Know your numbers, be your numbers, and make the most out of your numbers. Be yourself because everybody else is taken.